Hello and welcome back to another In This Thread. I am your host, Stuckey, and I am joined with my co-host, Deadanon.
Hi.
Tonight, we are joined by a very special guest. He is known for his love for Pinkie Pie and drawing the lovely mare just about wherever he goes. The one and only Hatter. How you doing, Hatter?
Hello. I am doing quite well.
All right. And how are you holding up with this Corona-chan running the damn streets nowadays?
Well, I'm afraid I might get it because every day I go to work, I have to deal with a bunch of shitty people. And that's pretty much it.
First things first, I'm curious. Where does this name come from? Like Hatter, Hattsy. Like, where did that originate from?
It's quite a stupid story. Back in 2014, I believe, there was this artist named Silver One Kunai, and he would post in the draw thread on /MLP.
I remember that guy.
Yeah, he would post his streams, and I just had an anonymous account. Because I was using livestream.com and they let you do that. So I just went in as anonymous and I would just post there. And one of these days, the dude asked me to make a name because I was there frequently. And my sister or whatever, she was watching Alice in Wonderland in the background, and it was at the bit with the Mad Hatter. So I was like, all right, fuck it. I'll just name myself Anonymous Hatter. And eventually people started calling me Hattsy. For whatever fucking reason, they omitted the anonymous part. So I just kind of stuck with Hattsy.
Yeah, it's something to latch on to.
Yeah.
It's an identity. So, how did you stumble upon the show itself?
I watched an episode back in 2010.
Ooh.
But I didn't quite dig it. So I sat on it for a few years until my friend Jacob was over at my house and he brought his sister with him. So to get his sister to shut up, since she was annoying as fuck, I looked up My Little Pony on YouTube, and then we started watching it, and I was like, hey, wait a minute. I actually like this.
Oh, no.
How much farther along was this? Was this like
2012 or so.
Oh,
okay. Still kind of an old fag.
Yeah.
So you didn't miss the whole lot of the action?
The first couple of years, yeah.
Well, there really wasn't anything much there anyways.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, I've been on /MLP for pretty much ever since it's...
So that's when it kind of leads up to the next question. So you actually were on the board. Were you active on the board, like drawing and stuff like that? Or were you just lurking and such?
For the first couple of years I used it, I just kind of lurked since, admittedly, I was new to 4chan. But around 2014 or so, I started, or 2013 or 2014, I started actively participating in the draw thread, and that's kind of why I started drawing, just to do requests and shit. And it just kind of slowly devolved into me just nonstop drawing my...
Yeah, so we shall get to that in a bit. But did you have any previous experience with art, or did MLP like give you that, push to get into art?
No, I had no real previous interest in any creative endeavor. It was MLP that kind of pushed it into me.
Was it because of the draw thread itself?
I think it was just the show, Cute Ponies.
So did you do traditional art first, like paper and pencil, or did you dive right into digital art?
I started with traditional. I would reference screenshots and shit and just kind of draw what I saw on the screen. And then eventually I found the one Imgur tutorial post that had all the references and shit, so I kind of started studying that, and then eventually I moved on to...
Oh god, I always hated that thing.
Yeah.
Wasn't it MC that ran it?
Yep, that fucking bitch.
Oh man.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit later, the whole drawing process and such. But I know it's an obvious answer here, but your love of Pinkie Pie, like, where did it come from? Like, when did you actually realize, like, that's my mare right there?
I don't know, because originally... like way back when I started watching, Fluttershy was actually my favorite.
Gross.
And then it just kind of slowly turned... Yeah, right? And then it just slowly turned into Pinkie. And then now that's the only pony I have any interest.
Okay, well, that's an interesting point, but I'll bring that up later. Well, you do draw Pinkie Pie a lot. She's often wearing socks, eating treats, and often looking very wholesome. What is it that like drives you to create such like wholesome content of her?
I don't know. I just like cute ponies. and I like drawing cute ponies, and it's kind of shit that makes me smile.
Do you have any like first drawings left from like 2012? Like, do you have drawings of Fluttershy?
I have. I used to have this big old yellow folder that I kept my traditional drawings in, but one day that just fucking vanished out of thin air, and I don't know where it went. But I do have my my digital drawings from 2013.
Yeah, post them.
Yeah, post them.
Let me open up my art folder. Here's one of Pinky.
Oh man, she's really pretty.
Yeah, you can get lost in those blue eyes.
There was one I drew of Fluttershy with like weird big ass ear, but I have no idea where it is.
Is paintable size still your main method of drawing digitally, or do you use something else now?
It was up until 2016 or 2017, and that's when I switched to Clip Studio Paint.
Oh yeah, that's a good program.
Yeah, I've tried using Photoshop and Krita and all that other shit over the years, but never quite clicked with me.
Do you draw with a mouse or one of those styluses?
For a few years, I actually did draw with a mouse because my tablet that I was using, it broke. I don't remember how it broke, but I remember that it broke, so I had to switch to using my mouse. And for a few years, that's how I did art. And then one of my friends, he gifted me a tablet and he didn't use anymore. So I've just been using that.
What pony is that?
Apple Critter.
I think that's it's Apple Critter. Is Pinkie Pie and Socks like one of your favorite like things to draw? Because you have a lot of artwork of Pinkie Pie and Socks. It's quite wholesome as fuck.
I don't know. Socks are just fucking adorable, and I love.
Yeah, can't go wrong with socks on mares.
Yeah, I'm gonna be posting a few examples of the pictures that like stood out to me. But yeah, she just looks very, very wholesome as fuck right here.
Hell yeah.
Very, very wholesome. Another thing too, is it safe to say that like Rarity is also like maybe one of your second favorite ponies? Because you do draw her a lot, and she is very, very cute.
She is fancy.
Pretty. I like Rarity, but I wouldn't call her my second favorite. Maybe, actually. It's kind of a tough call between Applejack and Rarity.
Yeah, they're both really good.
Yeah, exactly.
Very good supporting characters. How did you develop your art style? Did you have like any inspiration from any other like draw fangs or such, or did you just like dive in there and create your own style?
A lot of my inspiration comes from like those old wacky cartoons from like the 1940s and shit. So that's what I kind of. That's why I like to do like random fucking poses and shit, because just fun to look at, you know.
Do you have any examples of your inspiration you can post?
I don't have any saved, but I can name.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Just Chuck Jones and all them.
Oh, nice. Good shit.
I did appreciate your Pinkie Pie using the Oculus Rift. That was pretty funny.
Honestly, I wanted to post something to Twitter, just to post something. About my Oculus Rift, but I didn't want to just make a post saying, "Hey, I'm playing my Oculus Rift," because that would be kind of gay. So, and I had like 5 minutes before I had to go to work, so I just quickly doodled Pinky with the Oculus Rift. I made her say "neat."
Yeah, very wholesome indeed. I was curious. I went to your Twitter beforehand, not Twitter, sorry, excuse me, your Tumblr beforehand, and you did have, at least from my understanding, like 2 OCs. Whatever happened to them?
Well, I kind of started. Let me restart. I kind of got overtook by my waifuism. The more I started drawing Pinky, the less I started drawing my OCs, and just kind of forgot about them over the.
They got banished to the Shadow Realm.
Pretty much.
Man, that's messed up. Do you have any pictures of them though, or they're just forever lost?
I have a couple of pictures. One is a pretty autistic OC. It's a food pony.
Is that the Oreo pone?
Yeah.
She is very pretty.
Hell yeah.
But why specifically Oreo pone though?
So I was in Flock Mod, and one of my friends, his name is Derpy, with an E instead of a Y at the end. He made this donut pony, Donut Stoles, and he made this Tumblr Ask blog about it. It's pretty funny. I created this cake food pony and made an Ask blog about that. And we just kind of ran on with it, and then we started talking about other food ponies, and the idea from that, and Donkey came from the idea of that.
Oh, that's her name is Donkey?
Yeah. One of my friends was making a joke since, Dunkey the YouTuber and
Yeah.
Oreos, dunk them in milk, blah, blah, blah. It's stupid.
She's very wholesome, especially when she's drinking milk.
Funny story about that. The original bottom part of Remain was actually going to be like glasses of milk.
Hmm.
And I changed that because one of my friends was like, wouldn't that get rotten? So I was like, oh shit.
Right. I mean, there is, what's her name? Pizza Pone. I mean, she never goes moldy.
Very good point.
I think food pones just kind of regenerate after a while because they also get off from being bitten.
Oof.
But they don't actually die, it looks like. That's just from the original stories I read from like 2011.
The original headcanons.
Yeah, because Raging Semi back then, I think he quit a long time ago. He wrote a lot of food pone stories. He had like a breakfast, lunch, and dinner trilogy thing.
Yes.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner were some of the best fics ever written.
Yeah, they were pretty alright, but I don't think they aged well.
How come?
You can ask me that during my interview after this one. Write that down.
I will right now then. Hold on. I shall write it down. The food pones did not age well. Haha, what a joke.
Not only that, but I think a lot of stories from back then didn't age well.
Okay. I have a picture of her, of Cookie Pone, or Dunkey as her name is. And yes, she's very, very wholesome. Look at that. Look at her.
Oh yeah. Oh man. I like her mane.
Hell yeah. Funny story about my main OC, Hattsy, because I couldn't come up with a better name. That OC was actually designed by Nips, or McSqueezy, whatever you want to call it, because I was in the draw thread, Skype chat, and he asked me if I had an OC, and I was like, why the fuck would I have an OC? I just want to draw Pinky. And he was like, all right, fam, I'll make one for you. And then that's how that OC.
So you do post a lot on Twitter nowadays. Do you still post on the board?
Anonymously, but I never.
Okay.
Every now and then I'll go into the draw thread and do a request, but I mostly prefer to just make anonymous posts.
I often do browse the board every so often, and I have seen your art every so often and such, but I can't tell if it's you or just somebody else reposting it.
Usually it's not me.
So,
if I'll see people using my art as reaction images, and that makes me the happiest person in the world because it's just funny to see.
Yeah, you make really good reaction images. Like I have the one with Lyra saved. You know the one.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh man, I nut to that every day. Holy shit.
Hell yeah.
oh, that's very nice. So another thing too, I've noticed that you draw your ponies a little extra thick. Is there a wholesome reason behind that, or are you one of those fetish types?
I am one of those fetish types, but yeah, there is no but. It's just I like chubby. I like fat.
Chubby is wholesome, but as long as they're not,
As long as it's not, like blob tier.
Is that what brought you to like punk her in the first place, or are there like other reasons why you like her?
No, I just thought she was the cutest of the bunch.
Yeah, you have one of those pictures of Rarity, a little chubby, and I'm just like, ooh. And she's like nothing with little winter. I think she's. Hold on, I need to find it.
Yeah,
But
she's
she
like
does look very.
nothing wrong with the little winter rate. Or wait, not rate.
Yeah. I have 10 out of 10 wood cuddle.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just your art style to me has it has an identity, and
Thank
it's
you.
cool that you don't name fag on the chan. Like people can actually tell it's you just based off of your art. You don't have to have like a name tag with it to be like, oh, it's that guy.
Oh yeah, that's for like every draw fag on the board. Like you never need to really name fag.
What is your thoughts about that too? Let's talk a little bit more controversial things. What's your thoughts about name fagging on the board?
I think it's pretty cancerous. I used to name fag because people told me to. And then I realized they were doing that to get me to be able to filter my posts. But
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
The fucking picture Nicholas posted.
Jesus Christ.
So you don't really like it
No, I like 4chan for its anonymity,
Mm.
and people who try to take that away or take that away from themselves. It makes them stick out like a sore thumb.
That you might as well go on Reddit.
Yeah, right.
So that's another thing too. Like, who do you think offers better criticism, the board itself, or like, Twitter and those other ones where like an identity is, present, there, rather than like just the pure arts skill and whatnot.
Probably the board, because on Twitter people are afraid to be pretty crusty with their criticism. Like if they don't like something, they'll try to sugarcoat it. But if you go on, 4chan, they'll be pretty straightforward with what they don't like.
Oh yeah,
Definitely, yeah.
that's the first thing you'll hear.
They'll tell you like right off the bat, like what's wrong. The angle's wrong. Her muzzle's fucked. The main looks retarded. What are these colors, my dude? Like I've always gotten hit by those. But then on Twitter,
People
it's like
still,
nothing.
like, do that to me.
Yeah, that's just something I've always been curious about, like just people's thoughts about that. I'm Rat, do you want to take the wheel on this one about the more controversial questions since you're a little bit better with these than me?
Oh, what do you mean by controversial?
The whole Twitter fiasco with Clout Goblin.
I actually don't have any questions about that written.
Oh,
But
okay.
I mean, you probably should take this because I haven't even thought about it since forever. I don't think about busting hymens and rhymes before bedtime.
Hey, Hattsy, so why do you just like how did you become so racist and so hateful towards other races? It's just so mean and
Niggers.
oh my god.
Well, you see,
Oh, man.
I'm white, so I hate other races.
So what was it about though? Like so I think there's more to this story, right, than the Cloud Goblin was letting on. And it seemed to me like you had some sort of a running joke or a gag with this whoever it was on Discord. And is that what was going on? Because I mean, obviously he didn't post everything. He just tried to make it look like you said gamer words a lot. Like, is there more to that? Like, what exactly like the story from your point of view, if you don't mind sharing it?
Well, the thing is, with my server, everybody calls each other, these derogatory words like faggot, nigger, chink, spick, everything. It's like a game of hot potato where everybody throws these things around at each other, and like it'll just be in random conversation. Like we'll just call each other nigger because we find it funny. There's not really anything other.
I mean, you see that a lot on
you
see that a lot on the board too.
Yeah.
But it looked like maybe you were trying to get him to say the word or something. Is that what it was, or
Get him to say the word. Who's are you talking about? The Clout Goblin?
No, not him. There was some server you were in that he posted a screen cap from, and
oh, I know what you're talking about.
Was it Date?
No. Server. Well, he doesn't care about the word or people saying it. He doesn't.
Yeah, he's Argentinian.
Yeah, and he doesn't like it being said in a server, not because he doesn't find it funny, I guess, but because it's a public server, and stupid people are, like the Clout Goblin. So that's why he didn't want me to say it, but I just said fuck it and said it a lot anyways. And the whole thing with me trying to get him to say it was just me trying to be funny.
What are your thoughts on like Clout Goblins in general?
They're pretty cancerous. You see the Clout Goblin that tried to attack me, and you look at him.
Yeah, the pedophile.
It's obvious he's very, yeah. And it's very obvious that he's insecure about his past because he used to say the same shit that I did.
All the time, yeah.
Yeah. And he's trying to, and because he's insecure about himself, he's lashing out at others because he doesn't like himself.
Yeah, I don't even think it's even that. It's just, he needs more use.
Yeah, he's addicted to his Twitter points.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, do you think this whole, like, I mean, I know DeviantArt used to be a big thing too for a lot of brony artists and writers and such, but do you think, like, with the addition of Twitter, it kind of made, like, the fandom, I guess, what's the word for it? Like, they rather be chasing those brownie points, as you mentioned, rather than actually like creating art and such.
Yeah, The whole point of Twitter is not the whole point, but a lot of the reason people use Twitter is to be an extremist. An extremist get views, get points, and that's how they get popular. And instead of actively, creating content to improve the fandom after the show ended, they'd rather, sit back and try to actively destroy it from the inside,
Well, then he's not even doing that. He's a fucking furry.
Good point.
And everybody that mostly attacked you and Anon are furries. They're not even in the fandom. They don't matter.
Like, if you look at all the replies and shit to the post, they're 90% furries. And if you look at the people who followed him after the whole, call out thing, they're all furries. So it's like, I don't understand where he's at right now.
Kind of funny, like furries thinking their opinion matters ever.
Honestly, though.
Have you had
Don't worry, they'll die of AIDS in like 5 years.
Have you had any cons contact you as a result of this and say you're banned from ever attending?
The most interaction I had with any cons after this was BabsCon banning me. But that's okay, because California is cancer, and I would never want to go to California.
As a Californian, I can agree with you.
Exactly.
It's fucking trash here.
They got canceled anyway.
So they just can't. Yeah. They banned you because of what? Some random clout goblin on Twitter was trying to drum up.
I'm assuming they banned me because they blocked me, but they didn't say anything about it or contact me or anything. So I'm not really sure what's going on.
That's pretty messed up.
Where do you this whole because it always feels like it's the art community that's often throwing shit at each other. Where do you think this stems from?
Jealousy. Jealous people being jealous of people that are bigger than them. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's so weird. I only started really talking to other horse artists maybe 3 years ago. The first time I joined CFAC, that was the first time I met Date and them. And I never expected so many fucking clout chasers in the fandom.
Yeah.
I'm in the Not Safe for Work artist chat, and there's so many of them. There's a lot of cool people there, don't get me wrong, but there's even more people just trying to sniff your clout.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
Yeah, because I'm just curious, because I don't feel like the writing community is like that, or even the narration community as much. I mean, I remember
I just wish things could go back to people in the art community drawing because they enjoy drawing.
Exactly.
Instead of drawing for clout,
Yeah, and they were actually helpful with each other, giving criticism and saying hey, do something like this or like that. Oh, that's not working, well, try this. But nowadays it's I feel like some people out there are genuinely trying to sabotage others for whatever reason out there. And it just I don't know. I feel that it's just kind of disgusting.
Yeah, it's pretty cancerous.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like some of these people don't even watch the show either. They're just, because they're not even following the basic principles.
Half the ones I know of are borderline furries, or they are furries and they're just latching onto Pony because it's where they get the most attention.
I've met a lot of NSFW artists over the years, and a lot of them don't watch the show, but they just participate in the fandom because there's money to be made.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of furries are like that too.
Yeah. I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, it's still kind of cancer, but at the same time, too, I just don't like people that aren't really truly a part of the fandom having such extreme and strong opinions about the fandom.
Yeah.
It's if you're not in it, you haven't really experienced stuff, and you don't even come here regularly. It's why do you have an opinion about it?
Yeah. And usually they're the ones that always get the most attention to what they don't like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
I feel like that's a huge basis of it, because they're from an outside view, wait a minute, this Pony guy said nigger? What? Pony people that like Pony shouldn't say nigger. Nobody does that, and it's how the fuck do you know? Everybody does it.
Yeah, because again, a lot of the earlier old fags were from the board, and from the board, a lot of these guys, I mean, don't get me wrong, you still have some pansies here and there that can't handle certain words and whatnot, but at least if you're a part of the board, you expect these things to happen and you play along with the joke. But it just feels with the introduction of Twitter, and it also happened in Tumblr, people just started getting a little bit more political about stuff, and then trying to make, again, what you said earlier, trying to collect those brownie points of being the quote unquote morally high ground type of person, even though they've done some terrible shit in their past too.
I don't understand these people because they're complaining about like politics and shit, invading their ponies, and yet they're the most politically charged people around.
Yeah, that's just, I don't know, that's just unfortunately the nature of the beast.
Do you think Punk would laugh at niggers or?
Yeah, of course I do. I wouldn't have John or saying fucking nigger 1,000 times if, you know.
Holy shit. I haven't seen those. That sounds fun.
Hold on. I've drawn a few pictures of Pinky being racist, and they make me laugh.
Oh my god. Ponies can handle jokes, apparently.
Yeah. I think my favorite thing to come out of season 9 is that Lyra is a confirmed racist too now, and it's just fucking great.
Oh my. So Hattsy, are you just an art fag, or do you also participate in other activities like writing and such?
I tried writing for a thread on MLP called Storytime. Basically, there was like 2 options. Option 1 was you're able to go to Equestria, but you can't fuck anything. And option 2 was your pony comes to you. If anybody finds out, then they get taken away and get them back to Equestria. And I tried writing a green text for that. So fucking bad because I can't write for shit that I just kind of gave up on it.
Oof.
I think we actually went over that topic on one of the podcasts we did.
Hey.
Do you remember what choice you chose? Either you go to Equestria or, you know, she comes to you.
I think I chose option 2 because I wanted to be able to fuck the ponies.
Oh my god. And what do you think draws you to that?
I don't know. I just like horse pussy.
Based.
So it has nothing to do with like anything else, like, you know, those thick thighs or maybe those.
Horse pussy is irresistible, man. Holy
That,
fuck.
but thick thighs are pretty good too. And big bellies.
I like socks.
Hell yeah.
Are there any other favorite ponies you have besides Pinky and like Rarity and Applejack? Like any other background characters and such? Or maybe even fandom creations?
As for background ponies, Cloud Chaser, I think her name was Blossomforth.
Oh, yeah, the flexible one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Lyra is a pretty good one. She's a pretty pony.
True. I can tell.
Yeah.
She smells like bonbons too, so I'm sure Pinky would get along with her.
Oh god, oh fuck.
Oh, you smell like bonbons. What
That's
about any
sorry.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
You're good. As for fandom creations, the only one I can really think of at the time is Button's mom. I don't know her name, but she's a pretty good pony.
What are your
What's
thoughts?
her name? Shit.
I think her name was like fuck.
Wasn't
I forget.
It like
Fuck?
Heart or some shit.
What an unfortunate name.
What an
Honestly.
unfortunate name, exactly. Oh my god. Her name is Creamheart.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's. But okay. What are your thoughts about like Kieran?
Oh, I fucking love the Kieran. What's her name? The main one that was in the Applejack Fluttershy episode.
Autumn Blaze.
Autumn Blaze. I fucking love her. I felt like their episode was one of the only decent episodes of the later seasons.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that don't like the Kierans for whatever reason.
Really?
Yeah, and those people, I always say they have to expand their taste.
Cloven hoofed monsters. They're not ponies. Get the fuck out of here with that.
But they're still cuties, though.
Look, man, if they have a horse pussy, I'm happy.
Though.
They don't.
Oh, God.
They have deer puss.
Oh, never mind. Fuck Kieran.
Oh, my heart. What about bat ponies?
Fuck bad ponies. They're cancer.
Why? What's wrong with them?
I don't know. The people I've known that have had bad pony OCs are usually pretty cancerous.
Yeah, the thread itself is cancerous.
I guess it's not really bat ponies themselves, rather the people that have them.
What are your tastes in fan fiction?
I actually don't read a lot of fan fiction. I used to read some back in like 2013, but the ones I read, I don't really remember. The only one I do remember reading back then was this fucking bizarre one about this brony who had to go on this magical journey across America or some stupid shit to find the elements of harmony, and from that he was able to find the portal to equip. I don't remember, but I just remember it being something stupid like that, and it was a pretty fun read.
So it wasn't a good bizarre adventure?
Yeah, I'd say so.
I mean, if you want, I can recommend some punk stories that I really like.
Hell yeah. There was one green text that was written for the Pinky thread back in like 2015, 2016 called Junkanon. And I actually really fucking like that one. It's one of the ones that I keep rereading.
Oh, yeah, you remember that.
Yeah.
She keeps buying junk for shit she doesn't need just to talk to him. Oh, that was so fucking wholesome.
Fucking love that one.
I was gonna ask you. You have a pretty interesting taste in waifu because I don't know. It feels like a lot of individuals tend to waifu like Pegasus and unicorns and even some alicorns here and there. Like, why did you waifu an Earth Pony? Because I don't know why, but the fandom views them as so basic.
Okay,
They are. They are.
People that waifu Pegasi are actual fucking subhuman.
Honestly.
Actual subhuman. Like either unicorn or Earth Pony or just fuck off, become a furry or something. Nobody wants you.
Ouch. But yeah, why did you, if you can remember, like why did you, pick Pinky?
I don't know. I've been asked this question a lot, why did I choose Pinky as my waifu? And I never really have an answer because she's just the one that struck out to me the most out of all the others, and she's just kind of the one I gravitated towards the most.
I mean, that's how waifus work. You don't choose them. You just it just happens.
Yeah, exactly.
So, controversial question here. How'd you feel about her getting cheesed at the end?
That pissed me off.
Not canon.
I was reading on the leaks because it was posted on MLP, and I saw that. And I was in such disbelief that I was like, they would never do that, right?
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I saw that too. And then I went and downloaded the episode in fucking Dutch, like as soon as it was leaked, just to see if these screen caps were real.
Yeah.
And it was.
It's bullshit. And now in one of my fucking main group of friends, I'm now known as the cuck because of fucking cheese sandwich.
Hey, it could have been worse. You could have been a sugar bell fag. They got cucked a long time ago in the worst fucking way.
Good point.
I'm calling out Lockhart.
At least I'm not a mod fag either.
Oh, man, rip mod fags, Jesus.
It's funny too because I was ragging on one of my friends because he got cucked. Yeah, that got leaked a while before, I believe. So I was ragging on him about it, and then I got cucked.
That's fucking funny.
Oh man.
You see that's why I couldn't really make fun of anyone, because it could have happened to anybody, right?
Yeah.
And I held on to it, and then I got cucked like right at the fucking finish line.
Yeah.
That was so shitty. Fuck off. Oh god, I hate writers.
I don't understand it either. Like, why would Pinky of all ponies be the one that gets hitched and have kids? You'd think that'd be more like Rarity or Applejack. But no, they're by themselves. Actually, no, Applejack is now a lesbo.
Yeah,
because
Applejack's
you're
a
with Ash and
lesbian.
AJ.
Yeah, I mean that was a thing the whole time, and all those that deny it are in denial. How did you feel like seeing your waifu, grow old?
Didn't really look like they were old. It just kind of looked like they were tired.
Yeah.
But seeing all the ponies just, in like their 80s or some shit, I don't know. It made me pretty nostalgic. Just watching that final episode, it made me pretty sad because, end of ponies.
Do you have any hopes? I wouldn't say high hopes, but do you have any hopes for Gen 5?
I hope that it remains the core values of the first few seasons, just slice of life, cutesy shit that the show lost over the years. And I hope it goes back to that, but with the leaks, of G5 and shit.
Not gonna happen.
It looked really fucking bad. It looked like they were going to continue the more, just generic adventure-y type shit. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I don't want that. I just want it to be cute ponies having good times, Do
you like Pinky's like original concept and also possibly new concept of her being a Pegasus?
I do. I'm okay with Pinky being a Pegasus because that's how she was originally intended to be. And then she just kind of got switched to an Earth Pony mid-production or whatever. So I'm okay with it. It's not something that really matters to me, but it matters. What does matter to me is the design that was posted, like the fucking wingtail. It's so fucking bizarre.
Yeah, they look like furry OCs.
Yeah, like Sparkle Dog shit.
So you wouldn't have mind if she was a Pegasus as intended?
Nah, I'd be cool with it. As long as she remains her character, I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean, I know you guys give a lot of shit to, like, those that waifu Pegasi ponies, but imagine being wrapped by those wings. Oh.
Yeah, that would be pretty comfy.
Hell yeah.
Well, she'll also shit on your head and take all your clothes and make nests everywhere. It's fucking terrible. I wouldn't a Pegasi.
Never mind, I hate Pinky now.
Oh man.
Like, you'll have to clip those wings and shit. Like, it's just a pain in the ass.
Hey man, the love of your waifu. Okay, let's take it back a bit. Let's talk about your art and such. How do you like prepare yourself in the sense of like what do you do when you're drawing? Like, do you listen to music? Do you talk to friends, or do you work in like complete fucking silence, cut off from the world for like a few hours a day?
There's not really one specific thing I do. It's pretty much all three of the things you mentioned, just at random. Sometimes I'll be drawing while listening to music. Other times I'll be drawing while listening to friends talk. Other times, if I really need to get something done, I'll cut off all activity from the outside world. Because if I'm drawing, I'll be and I have Discord open, I'll be distracted by Discord. Because I'm too autistic, I keep looking at it, So I need to be able to stop distracting myself with that stuff sometimes if I need to finish a picture. But if I'm just, drawing as a hobby, for fun, not for payment or anything, I'll usually just be listening to music or whatever.
So for commissions, like well, of course you're gonna take it more seriously, but how does that differ from like a doodle and such?
Usually with doodles, I draw what I want to draw, but when it comes to commissions, I usually avoid doing them because they're never what I personally want to draw. And I get that's the point of commissions. You're getting paid to draw shit you wouldn't, draw otherwise. But I can't really hold myself to that. So I tend to just doodle.
And as for commissions, like what are it's probably going to be a two-parter here, but like what are things you don't draw, like you won't touch? You're like, no, dude, I'm not going to draw that for you.
Well, the one thing I can think of off the top of my head is any pretty crunchy fetish shit, if there's a really, really bad OC that I don't want to draw, I'll usually just be like, shit, dude, you're out of luck.
Oh.
Because I don't want to draw these shit OCs. No offense to anybody, but
describe a shit OC for me.
Grand Ruler Celesto.
Ooh.
Usually
that's
shit
more appealing than some other shit in there.
Yeah, honestly.
At least it's iconic.
Yeah, right. Usually it's just the shit I don't want to draw is like the pure black with the neon red mains, that type of shit.
People actually ask you to draw that shit?
Yeah, it's fucking bizarre. I don't know why people still have those OCs. Because
in 2020? What the fuck?
Yeah, it's 2020.
Oh, no, I was going to say, so it's safe to say that you use the color wheel.
Kind of. I usually just eyeball a random color.
Ooh, okay. So you're not a follower of the whole, like, color theory?
No, usually just kind of go with what appeals most to me. Because I've never really studied.
Person.
Yeah. I've never studied anatomy or color or anything, so I just kind of eyeball things. If they look right to me, then.
So the second part, the two-parter to that question I asked previously, what was the worst thing you ever drew for a commission for those neat bucks?
There was a YCH I did. I won't mention specifically what one. I don't know how to describe it without giving it away, but there was this really fucking bad OC that I had to draw, and I never posted it publicly because I didn't want people to see that. But that's pretty much it. Other than that, it's mostly just me drawing Pinky. Nothing really too bad, other than that one OC that I had to draw because I got paid to.
Was it worth it?
No, because it was only for $30.
Cost of dignity. Do you go to any conventions, my dude?
I went to BronyCon in 2019, and that was my first convention. I'm planning on going to TrotCon this year if it doesn't get canceled.
How was your...
Didn't it get delayed? I'm thinking of another con.
I know it's a free
con.
Oh no, I'm thinking of Galacon. Sorry, because that got delayed until next year.
Kind of weird. They haven't announced anything just yet, which is kind of weird because July is kind of coming by really quick. So
they're probably doing the same thing BabsCon did, in that they're waiting to the last minute to say anything, so that the hotel itself has to cancel it. And they get the full refund back. Because if they drop out on their own volition, then they'll lose a percentage of the money.
I see now. All right. And how was BronyCon 2019? Some of us were there, but how was your BronyCon?
It was really nice. A I hung out with Money a lot. On the last day, that's the one I remember the most. But the reason I remember it the most is because I took a certain substance, acid, on the last day. And at first, I was freaking the fuck out because, I've taken this substance loads of time before, but every time I've taken it before, it was in the comfort of my own house where I could be alone. But this specific time at BronyCon, I was surrounded by thousands of people, and I'm not a social person, so I kind of freak out in social situations. So I didn't know what to do. So I just kind of kept walking until I got up to the top third floor and just kind of sat down on a seat. And I messaged one of my friends on Discord. I was like, bro, help me. I'm tripping the fuck out. Come find me. And he just kind of came and gave me a sketchbook, and I was like, I'll be right back. And once the initial peak wore down, things soothed down a lot. And then on the come down, I got really, really fucking sad. Because the entire thing just kind of so fucking fast, like surprisingly so, because usually days feel like they're going by at a fucking snail's pace. But BronyCon, it just flew by. And on the last day, I got really fucking sad that it was over. And I had to go back to the hotel room with Winnie because I was emotional as shit. And partly because of the acid, but also because, that's just how I am. But yeah, BronyCon overall was pretty good. A lot of time was just me walking around with my friend Umbrio, who's pretty cool. He bought me a lot of shit because which I love him for that. My birthday was actually the first day of the con.
Oh,
so
nice.
I just kind of walked around in the vendor hall and he bought me shit, which I still have on like a pedestal.
So in that notebook you got when you were tripping balls, did you actually draw anything in it?
I did, and I do have a picture.
Oh, post if you can.
Let me see if I can find it. It may take me a while.
Did you have any fans approach you at the convention, or did people not know who you were, in the sense of you had a different badge name and such?
A lot of people approached me, surprisingly, because I thought that I would just kind of be a nobody at the con, because that's how I usually assume I am. So every time someone approached me, I would be like, what? But no, a lot of people approached me, and it was really fucking nice because I didn't know people cared that much. It was nice.
How was that overall experience of having people come up to you and oh, you're Hatter?
It was surprising because I don't know how to explain it. It was just like this. It was just weird because people don't usually approach me like that, online. Or even really, people don't usually approach me for that kind of shit. So seeing people approach me for my art, it's kind of crazy.
Had a feel-good moment to it?
Yeah. At the end of the con, there were a few people. One, I think his name was Pony What. Yeah. And he approached me and he took a picture of my sketchbook. That made me feel pretty good because I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I'm known, and that makes me feel happy.
Yeah, Ponywood is a super nice guy.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Have you ever had any bad experiences with fans? Obsessed fans or just people that turn on a dime on you or some weird shit like that?
A few times. There's this one guy on Twitter who started messaging me, and I don't like to leave people. Yeah, I don't like to leave people in the dark with this shit, but I don't like to leave people on red, So I responded, and I was like, "Hey, dude, what's up?" And he just started talking to me about this weird fucking shit. So I just stopped responding, and for months upon months upon months, he just kept going, "Hey, Hattsy, haha, been a while." And it's like, dude, calm down. Learn when to take a message,
You eventually block him, or he's still around?
No, I never blocked him because I don't usually block people if they aren't explicit assholes to me. I don't usually block people. This guy, he isn't an asshole. I think he's just autistic, literally autistic. So I didn't block him. I just kind of let him do that. He messaged me after the drama, the whole drama with the Clout Goblin happened, just doing the hi Hattsy shit. And it's like, I don't know. People are weird.
Yeah, it's hard to tell online because sometimes people like that are autistic and most of the time they're also Clout Goblins.
Has that ever happened in real life? At the con, did anyone act a little too funny?
Thankfully, no. But I imagine if I keep going to more cons, especially after the whole drama happened, I imagine people are going to be a bit more weird.
All right, and oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought there.
Man, at that point, you should just go all the way and just go in the con cosplaying with blackface or something.
Honestly,
if they're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, right. Also, I posted the acid drawings.
Oh, nice.
They're in voice spam.
Oh, these are really good. Actually, I expected
Thank you.
something fucking wild, but this is comfy.
Every time I'm on acid, I usually just draw the usual Pinky being cute.
Absolutely based.
Actually done surprisingly well
Thank you.
for somebody who's tripping balls. How did you, I mean, I don't know if I asked this before, but like, how did you develop this certain art style?
I'm not sure. With art styles, it's one of those things where you pick up a lot of things from artists you like over the years, and those little things, they kind of come together to form your own style. And I guess I kind of, pick and stole a bunch of things from random people, and it just kind of formed into that.
That's usually how it goes. Like a style is more like an expression of an artistic journey rather than a thing you just get.
Yeah.
All right,
So
yeah.
you could probably write a fucking novel about it, but
Because I know I mentioned that before. Like, there's just something about it that, like, I'm like, oh yeah, that's Hatter. Because it's
Do you
kind of
have
like a
any,
mixture of a chibi. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was just gonna say it's kind of like a mixture of like a chibi slash, like, I would say somewhat show related as well.
yeah, comfy. Do you have any tips for like any artists that might want to get into doing what you do?
I don't know. Just have fun with it. That's pretty much the end goal with art for me. Just to have fun,
Yeah.
Be open to improvement, all that generic shit. But most of all, just have fun with it.
For the artists that are listening out there, where would you recommend them to start? Would you recommend them to start like on the board, or try to be on DeviantArt or Twitter? Like, where would you recommend them to start posting their stuff?
I would recommend them to hold off on posting their stuff until they are able to post it between friends, until you get okay enough to be able to post it without people. Because you'll see on Derpy Brew a lot, if you post really bad art, it'll get downvoted to hell. I feel bad for those people because I think of how the downvotes make them feel, because they're just posting their art. And
plus, because it's like I started on IC and like nobody fucking cares. No, you don't need validation for how you draw a fucking box. Like,
yeah,
just draw it.
probably.
Like, it sounds harsh, but literally nobody fucking cares. Everybody was there.
For me, I started my Tumblr as kind of like an archive of sorts for my art, because I didn't feel comfortable just having it saved on my computer because hard drive failures and all that. But if you want to post it somewhere where you won't get your dick sucked.
Yeah, there's a lot of places for online sketchbooks. Like there's Crimson Daggers, and there used to be ca.org. They have like forum sections just for online sketchbooks. But now you have Discord channels for that. Like I'm in a few that have like a separate channel for each artist, and each person can post their sketches.
Yeah, probably Discord servers would be the best bet.
How does your family feel about this? Do they know about your obsession with Pinkie Pie and her thick self?
Okay, so way back in 2012, I was very, very autistic about ponies. Because I was fairly young. I asked my mom to buy me this fucking brony bracelet off of Amazon.
Ooh.
And she did. I ended up I realized that I was being pretty cringy wearing it around, so I was like, I just gave it to some random girl I like.
Oh.
And then forever that bracelet was lost. And I kind of regret it. Because I like holding on to these things as for sentimental value. My mom bought me a lot of pony shit over the years, and she's cool with it. She watched My Little Pony when she was a kid, so she's like, yeah, that's pretty dope. Pretty much my entire family I know I like ponies, which is pretty autistic, but cons of me being an autistic child. But yeah, my mom knows I draw ponies a lot. She doesn't know that I draw thick ponies every now and then, but she knows I draw ponies, and she's seen my art.
Yeah, I wish my parents were a bit more supportive instead of just coming to my room and threatening to throw away all my shit that I bought.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but that's a story of another time. What about your friends that aren't in the pony fandom? Like, how do they feel about it too?
Friends.
You're implying I have friends.
Oh man.
No, my manager at work, she knows I like ponies because she used to watch ponies too. Like Friendship is Magic. And we're just talking about it one day, and we had this Christmas party. She actually bought me a Pinky toy.
No way.
And I felt, yeah, it was pretty cool. But I felt autistic because everybody else was there. So I had to.
Fuck them. You got a punk toy. Holy shit.
It was pretty dope. And she also knows I draw ponies because when I'm bored at work, I'll usually just steal a receipt from the trash or whatever that someone didn't want, and I'll just draw on the back because drawing is fun and it passes the time. And she's seen that.
You save those receipt ponies, or do they get thrown into the shadow realm?
If there's some I like, I'll usually take a picture of it and then just trash it.
Oof. Requiem from JoJo. Okay, good. I hope you got that reference. Oh man, that was so sad. Do you own any plushies of Punk?
I do. The only plushie, actually no. I've had 3 plushies in my lifetime. 2 of them were bought for me by an ex, and I didn't feel comfortable having them after we broke up, so I just kind of gave them to one of my nieces.
Okay.
But my latest one, or my newest one, my friend Umbrio bought for me at BronyCon, and I'm surprised he did because the thing was like $200.
Oh wow.
Ooh, how big was it?
It's not super big. It's say the same size as like a 40 plush.
Okay.
But still, it's really cute, and I love it.
Now, do you have any projects you're working on?
I do, actually. It's kind of so it started out as this cartoon project I was doing with Pinky. Or originally it was going to be a Pinky. She's a space traveler thing, and she hops from random planets to planet solving problems, kind of like Wonder Over Yonder, if you guys heard of that or seen it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Originally it was going to be like that, but I had no ideas for what she would be doing, so it kept getting put on hold because I couldn't come up with anything. And then eventually I started this back in like 2015, and this lasted throughout 2018 or 19 until I was like, fuck it, I'm not making any progress on this, so it's canceled. I do have a video I made of an intro that was going to be for it.
So it was an animation, or was it like
Yeah, it was gonna. You remember Rainbow Dash Presents and how that had that like kind of animatic style?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was gonna be like that, but different content and all that. But the Ponk cartoon project still lives because randomly out of nowhere, I was just laying in bed at like 4 a.m. one day, and all of a sudden the idea of, so if Pinky didn't, or if Twilight didn't kill all of the Pinkies from Too Many Pinkie Pies off, and they kind of overtook Equestria or Ponyville and all that, and after that Twilight, she has to go to all of their birthday parties and shit because it's Pinky. She forgets to go to one of them, or she oversleeps or some shit, and she gets put on trial for it. And then that would be the whole cartoon thing, and that's what I'm working on right now.
Get sent to the gulag.
Pretty much.
Like, do you have any lips that you can show, or is it all like top secret?
I do. I have one without any. I have a clip that has no voices or anything, but it has subtitles. And then I do have the video for the space cartoon thing that I could show.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, let me find it.
And do you plan on doing it on your own, or were you gonna plan on like paying some VAs and such?
I do have a VA that would want to work on it, and I do want to pay her because she's one of the few Punk voices that's still around that doesn't make me cringe. Because if you look at a lot of the current voice actors and shit on YouTube, they're atrocious.
Yeah.
And usually the people that watch them are all like just 12-year-olds and shit. And I don't know, but for a while after the old drama thing happened, I was like, well, shit, I'm not going to be able to get any voice actors because my name is now ruined. And then the 15.ai thing came out, and it made me think, if I can't get any voice actors, maybe I can just hack some together using the using the AI.
Because I was gonna say, like, if you were gonna do something like RD Presents, like, you could just just use your voice.
I could just voice act to myself, right?
Yeah.
Not only that, but as Sound Guy, he edits some of these, and he is in the Pony ASMR project. He could probably hook you up.
Hell yeah!
I don't know if they have a Punk voice actor yet, but they got a bunch, so it's worth asking.
Yeah, no. If I ever get around to getting a Pinky voice actor, I'll definitely hit him up. I already have one that's interested, and she's pretty good. Always open.
Yeah, and if you ever need like ideas to be bounced off and such, you can always ask, one of us.
Yeah.
I particularly like storyboarding with people, but that's just me. These are pretty adorable.
So, if manpower and money wasn't a problem, what kind of project would you like to make?
Cartoon, for sure, because that's always what I've been interested in, just a bunch of cartoons.
About what?
Pinky. You know,
Based.
the only interest I have in art right now is with ponies, and then that's the way it's going to be for the foreseeable future. You know, anything pony related is always going to be my top priority.
Absolutely based. I think that's it for me. I don't really have anything else written.
Yeah, I have the last two here. So, well, we already answered one of them, which was like, what do you have planned for the future? And it looks like you already have all these like comics and ideas, so that was answered. But the second one, normally I normally ask to a lot of these artists and whatnot, is if you do ever plan on leaving, like, are you just gonna disappear from the face of the earth, or are you gonna have like an announcement at the end?
I think I would rather just disappear from the face of the earth,
Oof.
because if I make a post saying I'm done with the fandom, you know, that makes me feel like I'm attention whoring. So I'd rather just disappear, but leave all my art and shit up for people to look back on, because that kind of stems from me seeing people just disappear and delete all their shit, like, you know, all the musicians and shit from the early fandom. That pisses me off, seeing people delete their shit like that. I'd rather be able to look back on it, you know. So if I ever do leave, that's probably how it's going to be.
Not even like just one picture of like maybe, see you later, Space Cowboy.
Yeah, maybe just like a picture of Pinky waving and then just yeet from existence.
Well, at least you're willing to say goodbye, because some people, they just, up and leave. Or the worst, they just delete their shit. So, this has been a very chill and wholesome ITT. I hope everyone enjoyed it. This was, of course, we were joined with our very special guest, Hatter.
Yeah.
We had a bit of commentary from our recorder, Deadanon. Oh, he's fucking dead. Oh no, he's here. He's here. Oh, he's here. Yeah, good. And then my reliable co-host, Rat, or as also known as Deadanon.
I like Lara. She's really pretty.
She smells like bonbons.
No, fake news.
I have been your host, Stuckey, and I hope all of you guys have a wonderful night. And once again, thank you very much for this interview, Hatter.